Foreigners are leaving Poland. Dlaczego wyjeżdżasz Polski?
It is time for me to leave Poland.
I left Poland to go to Germany.
He left because of growing anti-immigrant sentiment.
I left Poland because I want.
In June 2026, the Polish government announced that it regained control over immigration.
By saying that they issued 8 times fewer work permits to foreigners than 4 years before. That means fewer people are coming to Poland, but does that mean also a lot of people are leaving Poland? So we got curious and we asked our followers.
We received dozens of messages, most of them prepared to stay anonymous, but 4 people decided to share their story on camera. In fact, 2 of them, you may remember, have actually appeared on our channel before.
Because I just did Polska's Top Model. Hi, I'm Tamara Malcolm.
Wow, am I American? Am I Polish? But then I also have to think, oh wait, I'm actually like Portuguese too.
So in this episode, let's find out 7 reasons why foreigners are leaving Poland.
Cześć, jestem Mimi, jestem z Ameryki i dzisiaj mija 5 lat od kiedy mieszkam w Polsce. Ale niestety wracam do Stanów.
Dlaczego wyjeżdżasz z Polski?
Bo polski jest bardzo trudny. And job opportunities.
I got a decline on my residency visa renewal, and I just felt like, personally, I need to get off of the immigrant roller coaster.
But that's crazy. 1 second. So because you spent 8 years here, you already had a residence visa, right? So why would they reject you after you've already been here for a long time?
Because I'm not an immigration specialist, I don't have all the answers on that. And basically, it comes down to I changed my reason for being here. I received the decline, and then my specialist said we would appeal. But I just said, okay, I'm done.
My name is Shant and I'm from India, and I lived in Poland for 6 years from 2019 to 2024, and then I decided to leave for Germany.
What made you come to Poland in the first place?
I wanted to study aerospace engineering, and one of the only options is a lot of people would know is also Poland. In Polytechnica is really good university, and being able to do a bachelor's in English, which is rare.
Why did you leave Poland for Germany?
I mean, one of the decisions for me was the better opportunities for career, actually. So that was one of the driving factors to leave for Germany. And also for me, I tried learning Polish, but trust me, it's not easy at all. So I just decided that, okay, if I want to integrate better and want to learn a language, then I will pick German.
Hello, my name is Michaela. I'm half Polish and half Ecuadorian. I lived in Wrocław for 4 years, and in 2023, I moved to Copenhagen in Denmark.
Why did you leave Poland?
I left Poland because I wanted to study my master's in Denmark. I thought that there would be better job opportunities and better educational opportunities there, so I decided to go.
The fact that you're leaving has a lot to do with the language. Can you give us a bit more insights into why that's such a big reason for you to leave Poland?
To be honest, I feel like it's just been harder to connect with people without this high-level Polish skill. Some people might say, okay, go take Polish lessons, improve your Polish so you can feel more comfortable being here. And to be honest, it's expensive. It is really expensive. It's more expensive to learn Polish here in Poland than to learn English here in Poland.
Definitely. See, some people might say, oh, why don't you just speak to your Polish partner or your Polish friends and stuff like that. But let me be very honest. I am learning Polish intensively, and I agree with you. My Polish partner doesn't have the patience to sit and teach me siedem przypadki, grammatyki.
I don't have the knowledge to teach you about.
Even the knowledge. So she's saying behind the camera, even the knowledge, because Polish is actually hard. Yes, you can listen to podcasts, you can watch our interviews in Polish, and that is a great additional exercise. But to learn Polish, you need a Polish teacher. You need to learn the complexities of the Polish grammar.
Going to jobs, doing job interviews, speaking Polish. I wasn't expecting it to be so difficult for me to, get past this language barrier.
Why do you feel like you don't belong here?
I think that since I grew up with a Polish parent, I feel like maybe a lot of Polish people have this expectation of your parent probably spoke Polish to you growing up. So I understand Polish pretty well. But when it came to more complex things where they were talking about more high level conversations, I don't know, politics, religion and things like that, I felt out of the loop.
Maybe that's good you're out of the loop there.
In India, you have a lot of languages. And when I was growing up, I had to learn few more languages, like my local one, and then the one that's the most spoken and this stuff.
So I bet you
that-
speak Gujarati, Hindi,
Yes.
and as well as
Yes.
English, obviously.
like English, and we also had classes for Sanskrit, which is pointless. No one speaks Sanskrit in India. Like, why the hell was I learning it? So I kind of, as a kid, have trauma learning languages, and I was really bad in learning languages.
But
So
I would
that-
say if you speak so many languages, it should be easier for you to learn a new
No,
language.
I mean, again, like learning a Slavic language is not easy for an English speaker. If you would want to pronounce words in Polish that are not natural, like for an English speaker, you would never pair letters D and Z together, right? Like for an English speaker, this does not make sense. And when you go to Germanic countries like Dutch,
Yeah.
German, the pronunciation comes naturally to what would be in English. It kind of motivates you that, hey, the language is easy. I can already read, I can already slightly pick up what it means. So then you are kind of motivated. But Polish, the first step itself is very discouraging.
The biggest con for me personally, which is part of the reason I'm leaving, is the bureaucracy of trying to get your residency situation solidified. It just takes too long. And I just wish there was more transparency in that system.
But how long did this?
It took over 16 months, and that's a long time to sit still, to miss out on a lot of opportunities. It just is a long time to put your life on hold.
If you're under the process of a Karta Bubitu, your residence card in Poland, you can't leave Poland. You can't have any opportunities abroad for sure. It's over. Or if you have to visit your family if they're sick, you just can't. I mean, you technically you can leave. Obviously, you just can't come back. Which is obviously like if you have spent so much time and money and effort to renew a Karta Bubitu, you can't just leave.
Right, exactly. It's difficult. And you're sitting and you're checking the status and you're waiting and you're hoping and you were given certain dates and that date comes and goes and you're still thinking, okay, what should I do? What next? And that starts to make you feel a little resentful.
Applying for residence permit and this is it's a big nightmare. For people who know, they've been to the trauma, they know it. So it's like you need a lawyer sometimes even, which is not the case for me. When I was in Germany, like the digital infrastructure is there. So you don't need to pay a lawyer some amount of fees to get
You applied for your German residence permit on your own?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
In
that's-
Germany, it's completely on your
that
own.
speaks a lot. In Poland, if you are a foreigner and you don't speak Polish, impossible.
Yeah,
Forget
impossible.
it. Like it's not going to happen.
And I applied in a small town in Germany, not even big city like Munich. So in Germany, it's not common to get a lawyer for your residence permit.
Why I wanted to move to Denmark is because the education that I could get was better. Polish education really prepared me to be a very good engineer. But I think that maybe the conditions and the way that the state supports people is different. And the job opportunities in my field are better in Denmark.
What kind of engineer? Because software engineer in Poland has a lot of job opportunities. I work in the tech as well. So are you a software engineer?
No, I'm a biotechnology engineer. While in Poland, there is a lot of very exciting startups and biotech companies. I think that without being a native Pole and without maybe having a lot of connections within the field, without a perfect Polish, it would be quite hard to find something in what I studied. For example, if you want to make a PhD, in Poland is not very well paid and the conditions of academia are not the best. While in Denmark, you get quite a good salary and you have a lot of like academic freedom. So I don't feel like I left Poland because something was bad in Poland, but rather because I could get something better in Denmark.
So one person who reached out to us told us that he left Poland after 8 years because of growing anti-immigration sentiment. He chose to stay anonymous, but he's from one of the Middle Eastern countries and I can't reveal all of his details, but here's what he said. I just left Poland a couple weeks ago after living there for 8 years. As much as I love Poland, unfortunately it's gotten so hard to live there as a foreigner. I still love Poland and hopefully can make short visits when I get a chance. So I asked him, can you tell us more? He said that it's great that we're making a topic on this video because it's not healthy to only focus on positives and pretend Poland is perfect. So first thing he said, the job market is almost dead, especially for my specialty, which is double hard when I'm a foreigner. Second, my company was also a little bit discriminatory. Most of the employees were Polish. I was only one of the 3 or 4 foreigners in the office and we definitely felt outsiders. Socially, it's not a problem. Poles are generally not too social, but it becomes a bit of a problem when it affects career opportunities and we, the foreigners, usually always are at the bottom for considerations. Then he continues, given that I lived a long time in Poland, studied and built my career, I would have hoped to become a citizen one day, but it kept getting harder and harder with all the new laws and all the delays of immigration office, it just became hopeless. The overall hostility towards foreigners keeps increasing. First it was, we don't mind immigrants, we just don't want illegal immigrants. Then it evolved into, we don't want any immigrants, even legally. And there would be a million excuses to justify it, but it's just blatant racism. And the non-stop agitation by media and politicians, it just made me not feel safe anymore, and it affected my mental health. I was also scared if I do something wrong by accident, someone gets a deportation letter, or if I agitate someone by accident simply by not speaking Polish properly or mispronouncing a word, it is not how I should feel at a place I want to call home. To be fair and clear, these are just the reasons why I left. It's not my overall opinion of Poland. I had wonderful memories and I made so many friends, some friends for life, and Gdansk is still the most beautiful city I've ever seen. I plan to visit. Poland is already a big part of me, and overall, despite the negatives, it'll always be in my heart and a place I call home for many years. Wow, so his detailed messages highlights a side of the conversation we rarely speak about. But what do you think about this? Please share your perspective with us in the comment section below. The second biggest reason you're leaving is job opportunities. Can you talk more about that?
So, a lot of Polish people tell me, you should be able to find jobs, no problem. But let me tell you, at least in Krakow where I live, English and Polish is the bare minimum. Polish people can speak English and Polish. Unless you know another language, it's not really special that I know English, you know? And now there are a lot of people who are coming in from other countries, who are seeking these jobs. And so there's a lot more competition that I feel like people don't realize.
So you're saying the job market in Poland is really tough right now?
Yeah, for sure. I've applied to probably 200 jobs. I think that it's easier if you already have a few years of experience under your belt. But if you're trying to find an entry-level job, like me, who just graduated college, or even internships. I can't find any internships that are in English.
If you are in a deep tech industry, like space industry or something like this, that is not software, it's a very limiting place, like where you don't have so many opportunities to work, like especially in my domain of aerospace engineering, you don't have a lot of options. So that like it's a natural move for me if I wanted to progress a bit more in career. So that I was like, okay, I have to look either France, UK or Germany. Space industry here in Poland, you will probably decrease the number of companies I worked here to probably 2 or 3. Space industry in Germany, comparatively, it's one of the biggest, I would say, which is the reality for the Eastern European countries that after the communism and stuff, they're now catching up game. So like at some point they will get there, I think.
When I first came, I thought, oh, you can handle the winters. You're from Alaska. It's not a problem.
Okay.
But let me tell you, these last 2 winters and this last summer that we had, the weather did get to me. It really got to me. And I started to complain, like a lot of Polish people sometimes, about how gray it is in Warsaw. And before, I think I was seeing Warsaw mostly through those rose-colored glasses.
In Germany, they have courses for foreigners to integrate into the society better by having them learn German, and they can get jobs and they can contribute better. Than
I heard the German government also pays for people to learn German.
Yes, absolutely. So if you are in the protected class, like if you flee a war in, let's say, in Iran or something, then in Germany they will support you and you will be able to learn the language on the cost for the state. They will pay for your language and then they will help you find a job as well. So at the end, it's a win-win scenario for everyone.
Look, you're a Polish citizen, and I'm sure a lot of Polish people watching this would want more Polish citizens to actually stay in their country. So what could Poland do better that it could keep someone like you here?
Maybe pay them more. I know that a lot of even people who are studying like medicine here, like Polish people, they would rather move abroad to work because, you know, doctors, for example, are not paid enough here. And maybe if there were more English opportunities.
What could Poland do that would make you move back to Poland?
Higher salaries and an improved cost of living.
Cost of living, and I mean, you're living in Denmark. Isn't the cost of living in Denmark even like crazier? Or do you mean you earn more so you save more?
The purchasing power of people is higher in Denmark, so of course it's super expensive. Like it's crazy expensive, but once you start earning there, it's, I believe, much more manageable than here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think right now with inflation, a lot of prices have risen in Poland a lot and the salaries have not necessarily followed.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that that kind of throws me off of coming back.
Now that you have decided to leave Poland, what does your future look like?
I'm going to go back to my home country. I'm actually getting to be an old lady. So now I actually qualify for our senior citizen program in Panama, which was, I feel like it takes my life to the next level.
Wait, what do you mean senior citizen? Aren't you
know.
like 32?
I know. I'm 56 years old.
No way.
Yeah. And now I have to be very proud to say that because in Panama, we have an amazing pension program. It's called Jubilado, and women qualify at 55. And that's something that a lot of other countries can't say, that, retirement can start so early when you're so young. Like myself.
And your nice beaches in Panama, good weather.
Yes.
Yeah, like low taxes.
Low taxes.
Hello?
Yes, exactly.
Foreigners, if you are leaving Poland, maybe Panama is a great option.
Look at us, okay? Because it really is. It's been one of the number one places to retire for Americans, North Americans, like Canadians. It's very expat friendly from that standpoint. And although I hadn't lived there for a long time, I almost feel like I'm a foreigner coming back to my own country. So that's what my future looks like right now.
Want to come back to Poland someday? Or retire? Or maybe in Ecuador?
Retire, that's a very long time to think about it. It's very difficult to choose where I would prefer to live because I really love both countries so much for
That's
different
why you
reasons.
chose none and I'm going to Denmark instead.
Exactly. Instead, I'm in a neutral third party, so...
Yeah, all right. So you can complain about both countries from Denmark.
And Denmark too.
You're Polish.
Last part, that if the language would have been a bit easier, I would have never left in the first place. So, yeah, for me, learning the language is very much important to integrate better into society. So, in Poland, I just never saw myself being able to be fluent in Polish.
What does your future look like?
I'm going to be moving back to the US. I'm going to be finding a job over there.
Okay, so she's going to go back to the US. She's going to start a company, make a couple of $1 billion in her next IPO, and then she's going to come back and she's going to pay Polish people a better living wage here.
Yep, exactly.
It's something to think about. What's the right balance?
What should Poland do better to attract and keep talented foreigners and people with Polish roots?
Don't leave our channel and please subscribe to Aliens in Poland.